What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here. Welcome to an absolutely gorgeous day, but more importantly, another episode of the Garage Gym series. And with that, we're checking out something pretty special, something very new, and something that we need in a garage gym, and that is an all-in-one leg machine. This right here is the BLP01 by RitFit Fitness, and I've been using it for a couple weeks now. Disclaimer, it's pretty freaking awesome. There are some pros, there are some cons. I want to go over everything with you in today's video, give you like an all-inclusive review of the machine, tell you my thoughts on it, and whether I think you should pick up the cheapest all-in-one leg machine that I've found pretty much anywhere in the world. So if you guys enjoy videos like this where I sit down and review actual equipment, fitness machines that you can put in your home gym, let me know in the comments down below and by pressing the like button. But with that, let's sit down and chat about the RitFit BLP01.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them.
So the first thing I want to do is just do an overview of the machine, how it functions, all the dimensions, everything like that for all the specs that you may want for it. I will say RitFit did send this out to me to test out with some weights. Now it doesn't change the way I'm going to review it or what I'm going to say about it, but it does allow me to have an affiliate link that you guys can shop through to help support me. And I think you get 12% off, which when I mentioned the price, is freaking awesome for the machine you see behind me. So speaking of the price, this thing retail right now on the website, $799. I don't think you understand if you haven't researched it how much lower that is than anything else similar to it on the market. And that's without any discount codes you may find either on the website or through Amazon. And before they even reach out to me, I was actually looking at RitFit on Amazon anyways. Based off the reviews, it seems like they have a really good line between affordability and durability, which obviously is good when you're talking about gym equipment. I don't know what the Amazon shipping times are, but I know if you order it from the site, it's gonna take less than 30 days. I know mine took about 2.5 weeks to get here. And when it comes to putting it all together, it didn't come on a big pallet. It came in 3 big boxes though. And it was a sizable amount of time, I would say, about 4 hours by myself, which I would recommend having a friend help, but you don't have to. And even though the instructions were pretty clear, I did still make a few mistakes. So it doesn't have to take that long if you do it right the first time. So putting it together was super easy, but it's not as easy as changing the way you use the machine from a leg press to a hack squat or vice versa. It takes 3 hand movements and like 10 seconds tops to change. So that is really nice. Going in between a leg press and a hack squat, it can do that very, very quickly. So overall dimensions, it's about 41 inches wide as the width, and then about 76 inches long, which that 76 inches is a lot shorter than what I've seen from the competition. And I haven't noticed any loss of range of motion, at least on the top end from that. So that's pretty nice. So when you're using it in the hack squat variation, which is how it is behind me right now, your foot plate dimension is gonna be 23 inches by 24 inches. So roughly 2 foot by 2 foot. And with that, you can put your foot plate in 5 different positions. So you can definitely change it up a little bit depending on what you want to hit. And then when you put it into the leg press variation, you have about a 14 inch by 18 inch foot plate, and that can be moved into 3 different positions. But you also get the back adjustments now in 5 different positions as well, because your foot plate from the hack squat is now your back plate for the leg press. So just a little background on me and going to the gym recently. I haven't hit squats in maybe going on about 2 years now. They just kill my knees. They kill my knees. And I wish my gym had a hack squat. It doesn't. but what it does have is a leg press. So that's what I have been using in the gym for my main like leg building movements. And it's been nice and I've still been seeing some growth. What we don't have is a hack squat. So I'm actually getting a little more out of this than I'm able to do at the gym because I don't have a good hack squat. And this is a good smooth hack squat. Speaking of it being smooth, let me talk about the functionality a little bit real quickly too. So just like in your commercial gyms, there's multiple points to lock in the weight, whether you're doing a hack squat or a leg press. Depending on the size of the person, you might be at a different level, but they have the different variations for that, so there's no issue there. And the way this thing moves is kind of unique. So you have your like metal rod, I think it's a stainless steel rod, and then your hack squat leg press around that. And inside of that socket, there's like, I don't know, 1,000 like mini ball rollers. And that's what makes it so smooth. It's honestly just as smooth as a leg press that in a commercial gym, the one that I'm used to at least, or the two that I'm used to in my commercial gym, just as smooth as that, which says a lot, especially when you consider the price difference between one of those that are like $5 to $6 grand compared to this that's less than $1,000 by far. I will say I did use a little bit of this right here, treadmill silicone oil. I have this for all like my preventative maintenance stuff in my home gym. One, it's gonna make everything run smoother, and two, it just prolongs the life of all the equipment you have in your gym. So definitely pick that up if you don't have it. But as far as functionality and smoothness of the machine, I was extremely impressed. And lastly, I know it's advertised as a leg press hack squat, but I was actually able to do quite a few more exercises on it. You can do like calf raises, you can do good mornings, you could do like a foot off of it and use it as a split squat support. So there's a lot of different variations. Why I said it's kind of more of an all-in-one leg exercise. I think if you have this plus like a hamstring curl and leg extension, you're pretty much completely covered as far as legs go. All right, so let's move into some pros and cons. Obviously, with anything out there, there's gonna be pros and cons. Some may mean more to you than they do to me, but I wanna share everything that I've found and at least that I think you would find interesting if you're thinking about picking up this machine or something like it. We'll start with the pros and we'll start with the most obvious pro. That's the price. For well under $1,000, you're talking about, if you use the discount code, I think it's 12%, 10%, whatever it is, that's bringing it like right at $700 or something like that. That is an extreme value proposition for what you're getting. Sometimes just a leg press or a hack squat individual will be twice that amount. And then some of the other competition I've seen that has a similar machine to this, that's a 2-in-1, it's over $2,000 or like right at it. I think it's really, really hard to beat what they've done with this machine for the price. The next pro I found is the sturdiness. So it does have some horns on the back for some weight storage, and I thought that that was also to make it more rigid, but it doesn't make a difference. Whether you have weights on the back, whether you have a ton of weight on the actual horns for the machine, it's sturdy, like way more sturdy than I was expecting. Just overall surprised at how sturdy it is. And when your feet are on the leg press pad, even going like this, doesn't do anything either. So that was something I was worried about. Pleasantly surprised, not an issue at all. I mentioned this already, but the setup and instructions were really simple and easy to follow. That's something I'm always worried about when I get like a serious piece of gym equipment, is how long am I gonna need to set it up? Am I gonna be able to set it up myself? And yeah, no issues at all. Like I said, about 4 hours, and with that, a couple mistakes, but it was fun, kind of like putting together a big Lego set or something. Another pro that I was pleasantly surprised about was the range of motion. So I'm 6'4", and even on the commercial leg presses or hack squats, I can't always do like calf raises on the machine because I just run out of room. And even though this thing is only 74 inches long or whatever, I had no issues at all doing any exercise. Now, there is something I'll talk about in the cons about range of motion, but for me, the range of motion is a pro. Being able to do every single exercise given my height, it's pretty impressive. And the last kind of pro I'll throw in there is their weights, like the actual weights, they're high quality. They're better than the weights at my freaking gym. And they're also my preferred weight for machines. They're that nice rubberized grip. They actually have the indentions for your fingers. They're nice and compact. I was impressed with the machine, but I was also really impressed with the weights. And they do offer packages whenever you buy, at least through their website. I think through Amazon too. And it helps to bring the price down compared to buying the weights and the machine separately. Now on to cons, and with any machine, there are definitely some cons. For me, the biggest one has to be the size of the foot plate when you're in the leg press position. So in a dedicated commercial gym setting, a typical leg press is a big area to put your feet. You can put them high and close together, you can put them spread out and low or high or whatever, and that helps to target different areas of your legs, right? So I don't have that much options or flexibility when I'm doing the leg press on this machine because of the size of the foot plate. I pretty much only have the option of relatively close together and high. And by high, I mean my toes are definitely hanging off. That's not to say it takes away from the functionality of it and you can't still build muscle using the leg press, but it is just a bit too small for my liking at least. Now the hack squat foot plate I believe is a little better, but it could be a little bigger too. The only issue is I understand the dilemma of you got to be compact to fit into a home gym, yet you got to have the functionality of two machines in a home gym. It is difficult, but it definitely has to be a con that I found through using this machine. Next has to do with range of motion. Now I know I said it was a pro, and for me, even this con is a pro, but I think on the low end of the exercises, you might lose out of a little bit of range of motion. So it kind of stops a little too early. And I personally like that because it gives me a hard stop that I can then press against. But if someone was, say, a lot shorter than me, they may not be able to get a full range of motion all the way down on both the hack and the leg press. So for me, non-issue, but I definitely wanted to put it in there for some short kings out there that might be thinking about picking up this machine. So the next con has to do with the back pad. It is extremely easy to change back and forth, but there's no stability or support from it swaying left to right. So the only thing holding in it is that single pin, and I haven't had any issues with it really sliding on me, but it does just seem like there's gotta be a better way to lock this thing in and have it actually stay still the entire time and not want to sway on you a little bit. And then the last thing, it's very, very minor, but I come from a steel background. I do structural steel fabrication. I stare at welds every single day, and the welds are a little subpar. I don't think it's gonna affect the structural integrity of the machine, and like I said, it's super sturdy. But clean your welds up a little bit and make them even nice, neat welds, please. Like I said, probably not a con for anyone else, but for me, coming from a structural steel world, I know people can do better work out there. So you got your overview, you got your pros, you got your cons, you're coming to a decision hopefully for yourself now on whether this is gonna be for you or not. What are my final thoughts on it? I don't wanna say blown away, but I was pretty blown away. For the price of this machine and for the functionality of it and the space savings, I think it's gonna be very, very hard for you to find something even in the realm of price to this with this much functionality and smoothness in the machine and versatility. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. I actually might buy a second one for my office gym. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this to a friend, and I would also recommend the extra money that you save from getting this machine compared to something else, put it towards weights and you will be set for good. So those are my thoughts on it. Leave a comment down below. Any questions you have, I'll be in the comments. I'll be answering them for you. But for me, I'm very happy with the BLP01 by RitFit. It is now my new go-to leg machine, and the home gym grows just a little more each video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you want to see more reviews and things like that. And I will be seeing you shortly in the next one. Peace.
This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah. This the end.